soccer staff. Today we'll be talking about burns, its prevention, and immediate management at home. So, firstly, what are burns? Burns are injuries to the skin and the underlying tissues of the body. It can be classified into four major groups: one, first degree burns, second degree burns, third degree burns, and fourth degree burns. So, these degrees are based on the depth of the injury. For instance, the first degree burns is just burns that affect on the surface of the skin that you can see. Then the layer after the skin, if it affects the first skin, the first layer, the skin, and the second layer, talk about the second degree burns. When that gets to the tissues, to the bones, talk about the third and fourth degree burns. So these are the four main degrees we have in burns. Then what are the sources of burns? We have from heat, we have from chemicals, just like your acid and alkaline. We have electricity, like shocks from electric and gadgets. Then we have radiation. So these are the main sources. Now radiation, we have to talk about the ultraviolet rays, like from the sun. So now let's go down to burns management at home. So there are various sources of burns in the house. Yes, it can come from different routes, in your kitchen, in your dining, any part within your house. Now, as a mother, what do you do? There are some things that you can do as a parent to prevent burns at home. Firstly, what do you do? Make sure you have fire detectors. Make sure you install them and make sure they are functional. This will help you to detect what smoke within the house. Then, as a mother, if you have a gas, when you come around before you start cooking, open the doors and windows. Then sniff and make sure that you don't perceive the smell of a leaking gas. Another thing is, make sure you have fire extinguishers in your house. Yes, and every person that lives in that house should know how to operate that fire extinguisher. Okay, maybe you don't have fire extinguisher. What else do you do? Make sure you have sand, put in a bucket, and place at strategic points in your house. In case of fire outbreak, what do you do? The person can help use that sand to extinguish the fire as much as possible before running away. Another thing you can do to prevent burns at home is to make sure that every electric gadget or electric sockets, the faucets are well closed. Then take away lighter, matches from the reach and sight of children, not just from the reach of children, from their reach and their sight. Children can do the things you don't even expect them to do. So make sure you take away those things from the reach and their sight. Additionally, what else? Then if you're in the kitchen preparing your food, turn away the handle of your frying pan, turn away the handle of your pot, turn it away from you, move it closest to the wall so that you don't mistakenly toss it over. This can pour hot water on you or pour hot salt or hot oil on you. So ensure that the handle is moved away from you and let it rest closest to the wall. These are the things you do to prevent burns. Now, you have done all these things and accidentally you sustain burn in the kitchen or anywhere around the house. What do you do? Assuming you are cooking and peradventure hot water or oil spills or pours on you, what do you do? The first thing you do is quickly open a running tap. Place your hand, that affected part, under a running tap. Yes, let the cold water run on it at least for 10 minutes. Then you remove it. You now put it back again. Let it run over it again. Okay, if you don't have a running tap in your kitchen, you don't run about, what do you do? Just open your bottle of water. You can dip your hand into a bottle of water, or you use a bowl, scoop water from the bowl, from the bottle of water, and be pouring it on that affected part. Yes, pour it as much as possible. Or maybe it didn't happen to any of your children. You don't just do it. Just call the child, bring the child close to you. Get a water, pour on that affected part. Pour it as much as possible. This is to ensure that the degree of the burns doesn't go beyond that part. For instance, if you now pour that water immediately, the thing won't move from the first degree to second degree. Naturally, if it's just first degree burns affecting just the skin, with that cold water, it will minimize the heat. After that, you notice that if after you do it, you notice that blisters will not form. Blisters means those things that will now, after having burns, the place will now, the skin will swell up. You see water accumulating. If you do this thing like immediate pouring of cold water on that part, as you sustain it around this place, you pour water as much as possible as a mother on your child. That blister will not form. It will not form. So you try it and you appreciate this. So this is what you can do immediately. So after that, and you have noticed that the heat or the pains are kind of reducing, remove extra clothes. Then you can put an oily ointment, like antibiotic ointment on that part. Put a light dressing depending on the degree. Then if it's more, go to a hospital to see a doctor. Now in severe cases, after doing your immediate management, like offing the source of the injury, offing the source of the, like maybe in terms of gas or electric explosion, whatever, if possible, make sure that you or remove the source of the burns. Make sure you remove it. If it's electricity, you can just unplug it or use a long stick, wooden stick, to dislodge the connection. Then quickly go to hospital for expert management. Now there are things that you don't do. Yes, there are things that you don't do after sustaining burns injury. For instance, some people, one of the things you will not do is this: don't rub that part, because sometimes when you sustain injury burns, the first thing that may come to mind is just to rub the part. No, you don't do it, because once you do it, you are aggravating the injury, even making it to go beyond what it's supposed to be. So what are the things you don't do? One, don't rub that part. Two, don't pour salt. Some people say, hey, pour salt on it. Don't pour salt on it. Don't pour palm oil. Don't crack egg over it. Say, let's pour egg so the thing will not go do this or do that. No, don't pour salt. Don't pour palm oil. You don't pour coconut water. You don't put engine oil on that part. Those things, don't do that. The only thing you will do immediately following burns from a hot surface or hot water is what? Run cold water over that affected part as much as up to 10 minutes. Yes, do that. Then after a few minutes, try it again. Keep applying cold water on that place. Just run the water over it for like 10 minutes. Immediately following that burns. So, thank you.